Hello everyone, it is Christine here and happy Thrifty Thursday. Now you're probably wondering what on earth is going on. Seeing little babies, booties, maybe seeing a bit of a bridal crown. Don't get too excited. I was around visiting with Alex with his mum and dad last weekend, and his mum pulled out a bag from under the house that she was ready to either send off to the op shop or put out in the rubbish, and it turns out it is her bridal dress, as well as in there we found some little booties and a little top that belonged to Alex when he was a baby. So I had to save them from the op shop or the rubbish, and I think I'm going to make a special little display for Alex that has these in them, and I just wanted to show them to you as well. These are the most incredible little all leather little shoes, all leather sole, but just look at the detail and the stitching on them. It is just incredible. Not sure, I'm assuming at some point they were worn, but they're beautiful handmade, hand stitched little shoes, so I thought they could go in the display. And then there were two little booties. I've given them a wash because they had a tiny bit of staining. There's a little bit left there. These were definitely worn, and they have the sweetest little lemon or little yellow roses on them. And there was a little bonnet as well, so that can go in the little display. So that's the little mini Alex display, let's call it, and I will put that somewhere, maybe over here out of the way. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, Betty also gave me her wedding train, which this bit is here. I've given it a wash and a brighten up. It's got all these little pearl beads all around the edge of the train, and it goes all the way up, and then has this little bandy bit, so all hand sewn on. I can see that the pearliness has come off a couple of the beads at either end, but all the other little mini beads are still fully pearled. So there's a lot of fabric in this. I'll talk in a moment about what my thinking is on it. And then there is the wedding dress itself, which was sewn by Betty and her mum and sister, I think. Let me just make sure we're back in focus. And so as you can see, it's got these beautiful dimensional appliques on it. Sometimes hard to film white because the camera doesn't always totally love it. And just the tiniest little waist. It is very petite. Even the arms are just petite, and then it's got the beautiful beading around it. So what I'm thinking, I won't keep it whole, and Betty, she was going to throw it away, so she's fine for me to use it. So I thought perhaps I would put this panel in a little box and have that with Alex's little booties and things, because that would be lovely as a little sort of little memory box for his parents for when they got married, and also for when he came along. And then I was thinking I might use some of the other parts, and there are some more beautiful flower parts down here, to make some little Christmas hearts. And I was thinking I could stitch everyone's name who's coming to our Christmas, which is all of Alex's family and my family, and use the fabric and the beads. Even the beads might be able to be added to each of the names on the little hearts. And just make some little decorative place hearts, and put some little labels, or little hangers on them, so they can be a decoration after that, because I like having little decorations people can take away from Christmas and then hang on their tree after that, or hang up around their house. So that's my plans, but I thought you would like to have a little look-see at that. So that's the dress. I'll just get that, and then I'll show you the tiara section. Where am I going to put that? I should have bought another box out, but that's okay. We will persevere. So this is the which I've removed from the rest of the veil, because I thought I'll keep this, possibly again put it in Alex's little box, but I'll probably put it with my little display table of sort of vintage haberdashery and things. I think it's really pretty. Again, I'll try and make sure I'm staying in focus. And this is all of the also all of the veil, so a lot of tulle there. And so that was from Alex's mum. Then I have some op shoppy goodies and a reverse art truck mini haul as well. So I'll start with the reverse art truck actually, because then I'll have a bag that I can decant some things into. What you're seeing down here is actually one of the quilted large pillowcases I got from the op shop, because yesterday, I'm filming this on Sunday, yesterday was op shop day in Australia here. So I went as well to the reverse art truck yesterday because I was looking for something in particular which they didn't have, but I did happen to find some other goodies, including this massive roll of wool. Now I'm pretty sure it's either wool or a wool blend because it's burning like a wool would when you do the burn test, and I think this is going to be fabulous. I think it's probably a 4-ply, and I think it's going to be beautiful to dye. So I've actually prepared some skeins, which I thought if we've got some time at the end of this video, which we should, we could do some dyeing with my Inktense my Inktense blocks, which I've done before, but I thought you might like to see how that goes. So yeah, that was a great find, because at the reverse art truck you can fill a bag. They'll kind of price it for the size of bag you have. I had a sort of a large sort of shopping style market bag, and that was $10 for everything you're going to see, plus some extras which I got for Alex, which he already has taken away. Also in my haul from the reverse art truck, I got a document folder, but what I liked about it is it has this little bit that clips down, so I thought I could put projects, for example, in it, clip them in, and then even if this is standing up, they'd sort of stay in place. So I think it's been used by someone else before, but it's still very solid, very, very good, and I thought it was a really nice little box. I even like that you have to kind of press there for it to open, so they sort of stay closed. So I was happy with that little find. Also got a huge piece of yellow and orange canvas, which again I have a specific purpose for. In summer we put out an outdoor pool for Travis, and we like to lay something on the grass first just to stop the bottom of the pool getting any sort of punctures or anything. Not that it should from the grass, but it just helps to even out the surface. So this is a huge piece that will be perfect for the task. Also got myself a Hessian sack, because I like to stitch into Hessian, and I thought I could make some nice Christmas decorations. It was all kind of rolled up, so I didn't know sort of what it would have on it, but it's got a lovely bird and it's got some nice writing, which is always good. It's good to know the jute bag is certified fair trade, food grade, which is always nice, and it's Café do Brazil, so coffee beans, I'm guessing. And it's got some nice colours. It's got the pink. I love this sort of pink edgy bit on it, so that will be good to use in my stitching. And the sunshine is coming out. I'm outside filming this because it's such a beautiful day today. So continuing on with the reverse art truck. They get incredible things. They had some, like a Northern Territory and a plain blue cap. They had a whole tub of caps, which are always handy for summer when you're out and about and want a bit of screening of your head. I got some of these plasticky tubey bits, because I thought they could be even good for hanging a piece. They're sturdy, probably not as sturdy as wood. But even maybe in some of my texture pieces or something, I thought they would come in handy, so I got them down. As well as having the hats, they also had some Australia and Melbourne paraphernalia. So they had little pot mitts, pot holders, oven mitts, and tea towels as well. So I picked up a few of those. It's good if you've got visitors coming from overseas, having those as a gift. Again, from the same sort of paraphernalia, but it doesn't have any insignia on anything, but a nice little pencil tin. So yeah, both things that are secondhand and new at the reverse art truck. And then this book of embroidery basics as well, which we can take a look at. I might bring you down for that purpose. One, so I can see what you can see. Probably we've gone a little bit too far down, so I might just tilt you a little bit so you can see a bit more and I can still see, because we've got the sun coming in now. I'll bring it back just a smidgeroo. There we go. So it looks quite a new book. Obviously at some point it was priced at $10. But as I say, this was part of a bigger bag of everything for $10, which was a great deal. So yeah, it came out in 2005, so yeah, 20 years old, but it's got a nice modern look to it. And I might end up eventually sending this over to my niece Emily Rose, who's getting into stitching, but I liked that it had just some simple little stitches. It had a good little overview of different threads, fabrics, equipment. Let's make sure we are in focus. Basic techniques, mounting. So some things that I can definitely learn, because yeah, you can always add to your repertoire. And then different types of stitching, and then turning things inside out, bias binding, hem stitch, and then has counted thread embroidery. And I liked again that they were just some simple little designs that again you wouldn't have to necessarily do them in the counted way. You could just use the designs as well. Thought they were quite cute little designs showing you how to mount things in a card using Ada fabric. And again, just really sweet little designs like the butterfly. And they'd make really cute little pin cushions. The fish I really liked. That reminds me of my friend Creepy Cutie Crafty, who's been doing some amazing fish and birds. A pot holder with hearts, and I just like thinking about the different stitches you can use. Love the strawberry. Going to have to do a strawberry, I think, for my upcoming strawberry project. I think I might have something, yes, I do, in this stash to show you that might be coming in for the strawberry project. I was going through my strawberry fabrics and other bits and pieces last night. I think I'll have plenty for a couple of projects actually. Photo frame using waste canvas, a heart napkin, hardanger, which I've not really done much hardanger work, so yeah, it'd be great to do that here. A trinket box, beads and sequins, special threads, sparkly bead purse. I really love this little one, and I'm thinking this would make a really sweet little mini pin cushion. Again, I'll try and just make sure I'm staying somewhat in focus. And then tracing designs, freestyle embroidery. Here's the little rabbit pin cushion. So I might even make it about this size. So I might even use that design and just do smaller stitching. But yeah, I think it's a really cute little design. So stay tuned for that. And then transferring designs, and again just being able to kind of copy something like that I think would be great for Emily Rose to have that. Photo transfers, framed portrait. I love this little portrait that they've done where they've done stitching around a face, so they've sort of shown how they've done that. Choosing and using stabilizers, water soluble stabilizers, and then shows a flowery t-shirt. So again, yeah, I reckon I might even take a copy of the things I sort of want to keep, and then send this off to Emily Rose. A chef's apron, stitch library. So yeah, this will be really probably useful for Emily Rose. I mean, I guess it's showing it doing it on the counted thread, but I guess that just helps. Like you can then just do it on normal fabric, but it's got quite a good stitch library in the back. But yeah, I'll start doing some stitches with Emily Rose over video, and then yeah, I can send her this as a bit of a reference guide. So yeah, lots of herringbone stitch, blanket stitch, chain and single chain, stitches, stem stitches, fly stitch, seeding stitch, French knots, bullion knots, feather stitch. So yeah, a lot of good stitches, a glossary and simple couching. So yeah, I think that's quite a nifty little book. Then I'll just get the veil and the wedding dress, just move those into a bag over here. Just bear with me for a moment, because I need to then be able to reach into my op shop finds from yesterday. Okay, so I popped over to the Salvos op shop because I had quite a few things to donate, actually a carload full of things. I'll just bring you up again. And the lady at the donation centre out the back said, oh, you do know it's op shop day today and we've got 20% off. So I thought, as she said, oh, you really should go in and have a look, because I'd mentioned to her that I love vintage linens, and she said, oh, we've got some very nice ones at the moment. But I also found some other bits and pieces as well. This was a patchworky style pillowcase. Really like that because I love working with the patchwork things which are already patchwork together. You can just do some really simple stitching and get that full patchwork effect without all the effort of matching your fabrics together. So that will be lovely. As I mentioned, I got this quilted pillowcase and a second one as well. So that will be nice to chop up and use in projects. I got this at the reverse art truck actually, because I washed it. It's a sweet little braid. Let me come up a bit closer and show you if we can get it to focus in. There we go. Then I better focus back down to the surface again. I'll just lay something down and let it focus down. There was a whole lot of pieces. They were all beautifully starched up. I've given them a wash so they're not as starchy now, but a beautiful, this is a thicker crochet one, but yeah, thought it was a lovely size. It's got a real weight to it. And again, I got this one at the reverse art truck, some little fabric samples. I thought this would be lovely for my friend Sally, who loves the yellows and the sort of vintagey look. So I'll send half off to Sally. Oh, this was also from the reverse art truck, but I gave it a wash, hence why it's in my washing pile. Not sure what it's meant for. It's got some either Chinese or Japanese symbols. I don't know if it's for some sort of Sashiko style stitching, but I thought I could use them. It's sort of like a waddingy sort of wool felty material. And I thought I could actually cut them out into their little squares and then use them to make some little pin cushions, in that I could put another fabric on the other side of it and then stitch the little patterns, and I could even then stitch within each of the little triangles using this as a guide, and that could be the top of my little pin cushion. I suppose another way I could do it is to sort of use it as a place to then lay down some fabrics on. So I'll have a bit of a ponder, because I suppose you could kind of fold over the edge there and then have a raw edge there, then fold over your next edge and sort of work your way around. So I thought it would be useful. Brought it home, gave it a wash, and we shall see what that wants to become. Another bit of fabric from the reverse art truck as well. In fact, there's quite a few things in here from the reverse art truck, so not quite onto the op shop goodies yet, but really sweet little, it almost reminds me of coral or something. So just a small bit of fabric, but very useful for slow stitching. And also from the reverse art truck, before I get into the other op shoppy goodies, was a massive, I think it was a fitted sheet, but just loved the vintage design, a beautiful soft cotton with these green geometric designs. So I thought that was a lot of fun. And another bit of fabric from the reverse art truck. Again, a smaller remnant, but a beautiful blue turquoise linen. Really lovely feel. And then into the op shop finds. Let me bring them up. Then I won't have to keep leaning down. And I can put my other ones back in the container. So I'll pop these ones back. These ones I got, and I might at this stage, and I'll stay up because otherwise you won't be able to see the whole thing. These ones at first I thought were like just a printed on design, because they looked so fine and so perfect, but I turned them over, I felt the texture on the front, and no, they're not printed. They are just super fine stitching. It's just amazing. And there was a whole pile of them. Some of them had slightly different colours on the threads. Maybe they ran out of one of their colours. But they were perfect, and again they were all starched, and see, these ones are done with a lighter pink. This is a lighter pink, but to the darker pinky red again, and a lighter pink. So yeah, a lovely pile of those. And then some more beautiful crochet. I reckon they'd probably all come out of the same person's collection because they were all beautifully starched. Sorry, I will make sure I go back into focus. I probably wasn't in focus when I was sorting through those doilies. So yeah, beautiful. Almost like a cobweb design, probably quite fitting for Halloween really. Oops, dropped one down. And yeah, again, these are great when they're in perfect condition. I was thinking they'd be really great for painting with Inktense, but also I was thinking to use them on. Now, I'm not sure. I had a lovely jacket to show you that is a green coloured jacket, but I'm not sure now where that has disappeared to. So that might have to show in another video, but I got a beautiful linen bright green jacket, and that's what I'm thinking I might use with some of my strawberry fabrics and things. So I've given that a wash, and I thought I'd brought it outside with me, but I seem to not have. So just make sure I'm focusing in. Another lovely large format one. Sweet little one down here. Another one there. And this one's lovely, very petite, but almost you could make a decoration just out of that. This one, lovely work. This one I think might have had a little, no, didn't have a stain on that one. This one's another very quite heavy one, and it has sort of all shrunken back in the process of washing. But again, you can use the sort of individual elements out of this if you don't want to keep it whole. Another beautiful one with these sorts of little designs. Again, that could be great on the back of a jacket or something, or even the front of a top. It could be great. Sorry, I'm just holding up against myself and having thoughts of summer tops. Put a nice colourful fabric underneath. This one here. So again, that could do the same sort of purpose. A really fine little net-like one could be nice in a little needlebook stitched down as a little pocket. Another small, nice petite one. Another one here as well. So yeah, I didn't bring my green jacket out. I'm not sure where I put that. So I'll move these ones down. Oh, and the other thing I did was just tested, as well as testing my wool to see if it was, how it went with a burn test to see if it was behaving like a wool, which I think it's at least wool blend, as I say, or full wool. I also had a little practice stitch with it as well, just to see how it would go, and it's stitching really beautifully. Let me get rid of that black thread. Yeah, it's stitching really nicely through this thickish linen. Oh, I haven't got rid of that black thread, it's wanting to hang around. So yeah, it just goes nicely. It's something I like to do if I'm going to spend some time dyeing a wool. I'll just want to make sure it's going to be a nice wool to stitch with, which this one definitely is. So I'll just move everything off my surface, and then we can do some dyeing together using my Inktense and some of the wool which I have soaked. I'll just move this pillow out from under my camera, so it'll just move for a moment. I've got some Perspex down on the table, and I've got some wools. I'll bring you right down because that way I'll be able to see and make sure we stay in focus. So I've soaked my wools in water while I've been doing my video, and I like to kind of give them a good soaking, and if anything I kind of squeeze them around a bit in the water to make sure they're fully watered inside, because the Inktense does need to be fully activated with water for it not to be a sort of a powdery consistency afterwards. And then I've got my jar with my brushes in it, including my brush that can suck up water. So I'll just get some of the water that I was using for soaking and put it into my brush this way if I can open my brush. Otherwise I'll suck the water up if it's going to do what I want it to do. And if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. And I'll also put some water in my jar. And then I will grab my Inktense blocks. Where did I pop those down? Sorry, I'm just looking around. Feeling very disorganised today. Where did I put them? I know I had them here, so they're kind of They kind of disappeared. No, they're just under my box here. So the Derwent Inktense blocks, which I have the big 72 block set, and I'm making very good use of them. So I'm glad I did invest in them, because they've been fabulous for dyeing fabrics and threads and laces and all manner of things. So we'll just get ourselves set up. I'll work out where I want to kind of put everything and where I want to put the camera. So I want you to be able to see what I'm seeing. So I even just put it a bit back further. At least you can see a whole bunch of the colours there, not all of the colours necessarily. Might put that down like that. And I'm thinking I particularly want some pinky reddy ones, because they're lovely for doing flowers and things. And so I'll just sort of add some of the paint to it, but as I say, the importance is getting plenty of water into the mix. Let's just make sure I'm hopefully staying in focus. Which one was I taking from that one? So yeah, you really want to kind of, even using your finger, squeezing it through and making sure it really is distributing into it, because you just want all the pigments in the Inktense to fully activate. I'm just hoping this is staying somewhat in focus. It's a bit hard when you're outside because you can't see quite as well. So this is a bit of a darker colour, but I think it's still going to be nice to add to it. And again, just really make sure you squeeze it sort of all the way through it. You can check into the middle that it's kind of getting through, but by kind of pushing it and then absorbing it back in, I think that does help it just to evenly distribute. And then I'll just keep moving down my Inktense and see how that goes in terms of making a nice colour. We've got plenty of time to have a nice play. I've got a few different pieces of the wool, so we'll be able to make quite a few colours, because I think I'd like some more leaf colours as well to add into my stash. And then, yeah, we haven't done that one yet, have we? Sometimes the colours surprise you from what's in the pan versus what you get on your brush. Yeah, let's get some more water. Really let it seep its way in. And then you can just sort of, yeah, even do a bit of mixing along as well. I do like that first, was it? No, it wasn't that first colour. That was that one back there, wasn't it? Yes. I want to bring a bit more of the bright one, which was that one we took from there. Just want to put a bit more of the bright down this end, I think. And so these skeins I've wound, the way I do it is I wind around from there to my elbow and just round and round and round, and then I twist them against each other and then let them intertwine with each other. It's a bit hard to show you on camera. I have shown it in the previous videos where I've done my wool dyeing, so I'll include a link to those as well. But yeah, I just want to make sure the colour has fully been activated. And then I can just mop up the colour here. And what I'll do with these, it's a beautiful warm day, so I'll hang these out to dry in the sun and let them get sort of fully sun dried. If you're worried about it, you can then at that point, you can give them a bit of a rinse off and see if any colour comes out. Generally, I find as long as I've fully activated it, that will be fine. And then you can, if you want, heat set in a washing machine, sorry, not a washing machine, a dryer, or with a hair dryer works as well. So I'll just pop those, I'm just going to pop these off to the right so they're out of our way. And then I won't worry about the little bit of pink that's on the surface. I'll just let that kind of be picked up by this one. And then I think we might use some reds next up. So I'll just bring this down into view. As I say, I really like the sort of the flower colours to be able to use. might actually, as I'm doing this, I think I'll try and make 2 of each, and then I'll do a little giveaway and send off to someone some of these hand painted wool, so you can try them as well, particularly if you don't have ink-10-cent sets or wool, and I know a lot of people like stitching with wool. So if you would like to win one of my little hand dyed wool sets, and I'll do one, as I say, I'll do one in each of the colours that I am doing here as part of a giveaway, an impromptu giveaway, just comment, use the word colour in your comment below. And I'll leave this open for a week, so I'll leave it open till the following Thursday, and then I'll use a random generator to pick one of the comments. I'll check that it has wool in the comment, and then that person, I'll leave a comment below your comment on this video letting you know that you've won, and giving you my email address where you can get in contact. So that's how I will do it. The wind is whipping up. Definitely is. I could probably do 2 bits. That would probably be the sensible way, Christine, to do it. In fact, this strand's become untwisted, so I'll just show you the process of twisting, because at least if you can run it between your elbow and your arm, then you can get to that stage. In terms of how you twist it, try and make sure, one, that you've got your sort of 2 endy bits somewhat joining up. I think that could be the problem on this one, that the ends have become a bit there we go. I've got the 2 ends held at one end, and then I'm just going to wrap it around like that. So I'm just wrapping it around. Maybe I wasn't on camera for that moment, so I'll do it again. So I'm wrapping it so it sort of twists against each other, and then letting it form a nice little twist. And then once it's sort of all nicely twisted, if it needs a little bit of help, I give it a bit of help, and then I pass one end through the other. And so I reckon it will be a much better idea that I do just kind of try and dye 2 at once. 2 for the price of 1. 1 for me, 1 for you. Whoever the lucky person that puts a comment with colour in the description, or not in the description, in the comments below. Did I use that one? No, that's more orangey coloured, but that's okay. We'll do them slightly bespoke. That's kind of the nice thing. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, does it? If I squeeze them together, then they will get a bit of sort of cross colouring. And it really doesn't matter, like you can see underneath there, it wasn't quite as coloured. I mean, I will add some more colour, but it's kind of nice just to have that variation, because you are really kind of creating a bit of a variegated colouring anyway. So I'll get that on, and then we'll just add a whole lot more water just to make sure it's all going to get activated. But it is good having that moisture already in the wool. That's why I do like to dip them in the wool beforehand, just to make sure that yeah, you do end up with fully activated colours. So even though you probably can't see that much difference, there is that sort of little graduation in colour down the piece. So that's 2. So I do need to do another one that goes with my purple. So I'll just come back to the purpley pinky colours that we had before. So what did I have? Was that that end, I think, wasn't it? Started with the more pinky colour. See how we go at recreating. Then we came back to this colour. So I'll just paint it on, and then I'll give it all a squeezy checky. Oops, that one there. And then that one we had. It's a very relaxing thing to do. And as I say, you just get colours that you just wouldn't get anywhere else. So it's such a great way to work. And then I'll put some more of that brighty coloured one on that end. Now let's give it a squeeze and see where we need to add a bit more colour. And yeah, as I say, you can just have a little peek inside and make sure the colour is all the way through, but it is there. So I'm pretty happy with that. They're pretty good pairing. Then we might do a bit of green. Again, I'll pick up a little bit of pink, won't do any harm. So with our greens, do love a bit of a, oops, and we're going to do two, aren't we? We're going to do two. Now this one has become a bit untwisted as well, so we might give that an extra twist or two. Just working out which way is the correct twisting way that way. A bit harder when they're wet. So you want to flick out some little wetty bits. There we go. Can deal with that little endy bit later. Probably should have cleaned my brush beforehand, and that doesn't really matter too much. Nice soft green. Might use a darker green here. Yeah, let's do that. Beautiful darker green. I'll get rid of that water. I can just put that out onto the lawn and get myself a fresh one. Now, what other green do I want? Maybe I'll get this one over here. Just move the thing so you can see the green. So I hope you're having a beautiful day or a beautiful evening. Hopefully, well, I suppose you'll be seeing this on Thursday, so we'll be almost at the weekend again. Alex and I always have a joke on a Monday morning. It's like, oh, it's Monday again. Before we know it, it will be Friday, and invariably, before we know it, we're saying, oh, it's Friday morning. One day left of work till the weekend, which we're not complaining about. It's not a bad thing to have the weeks race by. I just can't believe how fast Christmas is approaching, so I'm already starting to scope out some Christmas crafty ideas. Hopefully I'm staying in focus. It's a bit hard to tell. It's got some nice variation. Let's just check the colours all the way through. Just give a squeeze all the way up, so that's pretty nicely coloured, I think. Okay, again, I'll just pick a little bit up, but I might do some yellowy orange next, I think. Particularly if I'm doing these as a gift set, it's nice if there's a variety of different colours. It's quite a pigmented yellow, really. I don't know if my pen is sort of sucking up that much moisture these days. These ones are meant to kind of bring moisture into them, but maybe its little sucky mechanism has stopped working. These could be great for the middle of a flower, couldn't they? Where you have the stamens. Again, it might not look like that much difference in colour, but it is just that little subtle graduation in colour. Again, I'll deal with that little stray strand once I'm done. Down into a bit more of an orangey colour. Another step down to much more orangey orange at this end. Oh, there's a bit of this one actually. Maybe I'll use that one in the middle. you can kind of see where you get it a bit thicker on, and you do just need to add a bit more moisture just to make sure that it is like it's sort of looking quite pigmented there. So just sort of keep playing around with it till you're happy with it. Happy that all the pigment has been activated. That's what will stop it being powdery. So that's what those two look like. Just tapping the camera, just get a bit of focus happening. So that's those, and then we've got two more. So I guess we should, oh no, we've got another one after that. So maybe I'll make a bonus one for our little prize. Oh, actually I can show you how to twist one, although it won't have been soaked in the water. So that should be okay. So let's do, maybe we'll do some bluey ones. Again, I probably should toss out that water, get a bit of fresh water. Yeah, I think I should even be able to send this overseas as a card only. The only place I'm not sure how I will go with sending, so I might, is America. Although if I wrap it around a card, it can just be a card, right? It's not going to be, it can be a wrapped. But if it doesn't get through, yeah, don't be upset. I'll do my best with America. I'm not sure how things are going with the sending over. But I might just have to do a wrapped, decorated, a wool decorated card, which will just happen to have these little skeins, but I might need to sort of unwind them and wrap them around a piece of card so it is actually looking like a card. But as I say, if I can't get it over there, then yeah, it is what it is. But I will try if my person that wins is in America. Or I might have to send it in 2 cards, who knows, we'll see. It's almost an indigo sort of colour, isn't it? Need to get that fully activated, but you can just tell when the pigments are sort of sitting there and not mixed through with water. But I'll just make sure I'm zooming in again, not zooming in again, focusing again. Focus again as I show you. So that's those, and then I did say I'm going to show you, let me just give the surface a bit of a clean, and I'll get rid of that water. So I'll bring the camera up and I'll just show you how I do wind the thread on my arm, if I can. Let me put my thread over there. Actually, my thread will be easier if it's sitting on the ground, I think. So I've got my arm there. I'll have to come even higher up, I think. So I've put it round and I'm holding it between my finger, and then I'm going to go all the way down to my elbow, which I won't be able to, oops. We're really bumping around, aren't we? So all the way down to my elbow. I shall put the wool right down on the ground. So all the way to my elbow, and then I'm going to bring it up over my thumb again. So I'm just winding around like that. So all the way down to my elbow, and then all the way back up again. I'm trying not to lose my winds. Oops, that one has come undone. First one. Hang on, I'll do it again because we just had a bit of a fall off of the winds. Let's just make sure I'm not going to get a knot. Okay, let's go. So I'm going to start it up there, and so I'm just bringing it down to my elbow and then round. As I say, it's very hard with that to do without banging the camera as well, so do bear with me. But basically, yeah, you're going to end up with it wound round your elbow. Maybe I can show you like that. And you're just going to keep winding until you've got enough. I like to do a decent amount as a skein. And then I'll need my scissors around here. So I try and cut it off so I've got the sort of two endy bits. And then I'll bring you down again. Get in focus. And then what I then do is with my fingers I twist in opposite directions. So here, twisting around that way and twisting against it the other way. So I'm twisting against it that way, twisting this direction the other way. And just keep twisting till it's really tight, so you've almost got a tight sort of knot around your fingers and it's wanting to go. Then put the two endy bits on one finger and pull the other bit down and just let it do its thing to form a really nice coil. And then you can pop one of your loopy ends through the other just to kind of get it to be in place. And then at that point, as I mentioned, I fully douse it and fully squeeze it so it sort of really takes on some water, and then I usually leave it to soak. In this case we'll use it straight away just because we're going to be doing our last colour together. And so that's that one. So what colour do we want to do? I think I'd like to do maybe some of the middle, the more ready colours maybe in the middle. So I might grab some of these ones. You can obviously wear gloves if you don't want to end up with colours under your nails. But you know me, I always dive straight in. Now you can't actually see what I'm doing, can you? Not quite. Let's just make sure we're focusing. Hopefully we are focusing. If not, I'll have to edit out some parts of this video. Just squeeze again, make sure we're fully distributing the colour through, letting it fully soak in. Now that one we did, this one we'll do next. And we'll jump down to this colour over here. And then I wonder if we put a bit more of the orangey colour on it. Or do we come back to... Yeah, I reckon we'll do a bit of orange just to give us a bit of interest. And we can kind of blend them in a bit. You can mix the colours so they kind of merge. So this will give us a bit of peachiness, I think, if it mixes in with the reddy colours, pinky colours. Just giving us just a nice touch of peachiness. And then I wonder how a bit of lighter will go. Maybe I'll bring a bit of the other pink in as well, just to mix in. And obviously you can make them even more sort of, variegated in colour, which I've done in previous videos. But for this I wanted to have ones that I could kind of use to, continuously stitch, say, on a flower or something like that, and just get that nice little bit of variation, but still have it quite cohesive. But yeah, I've got a lot of wool there to play with, so I think these are going to be lovely to use. So let me just, I'll just clean up my surface here. And then I'll bring back all the ones that I have dyed so you can have a final little look-see at them, and I'll make sure we are in focus. So those ones. Yeah, maybe I need to even put a little bit more of the yellowy orange on that end as well. Just give this end a bit of interest too. That's a nice way you can kind of overlay a little bit. Just do make sure you are sort of fully distributing the colour. Yeah, like that. Just a bit of interest. And then yeah, our purples, our pinky pinks, our yellowy oranges, again just making sure that the colour's fully distributed, and then our greeny greens. So I hope it's okay. I hope the sun's not causing too much of a problem, because it is right behind me, right on my back now. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed that little bit of dyeing. And yeah, if you do want to go into the draw to win a little set of one each of these colours, pop the word colour in your comment below. I'll accept any of the spellings, and whether it's a C-O-L-O-R or a C-O-L-O-U-R. And I'll then do a random draw in a week's time and I'll contact the person below their comment, get them to email me and give me their address, and I'll send it off to you. And if you're in the US, I'll probably end up wrapping it around a card so that it becomes part of the card, and then I think that should be fine. Hopefully I won't have to deal with tariffs. Thanks everyone. Bye.